Welcome to CEO Insights. I'm Marilyn de Guzman with investingnews.com. We're here at PDAC and I'm speaking with Robert Archer, President and CEO of Pinnacle Silver and Gold. Hi, Robert.
Hi, Karen.
So the acquisition of the El Potrero in Mexico, could you talk about what makes El Potrero an attractive acquisition for the company, and how does that align with your company's strategic objectives?
So El Potrero is it's very significant for us in several ways because first off, it's right in the midst of a very well-known, very well mineralized district. We have 4 producing mines within 35 kilometers of the project, and yet the project itself has been privately owned for about 40 years, and so it's never seen any modern-day exploration. It's never been drilled, and yet it was actually in production in a small scale back in the late 1980s. So, there are some historic underground workings there, and there's even basic infrastructure for a plant as well, processing plant. And so what that allows us to do is, while we're exploring the project and defining a resource and expanding it, we can be rehabilitating the mine workings and the plant to actually move it towards production very quickly. And that, in essence, is our business model, to get into production quickly and then try to build the project and the company out of cash flow more than relying on equity finances, because the market has been so difficult these last few years. And if you can build the company out of cash flow, then it's that much better.
To know, with this acquisition, you do have a couple of Ontario projects, Argosis and the North Birch. How does that impact the trajectory? So how does that align with the objectives for those 2 projects?
So, it's easier to raise money right now for Mexico than for an area like Red Lake, for whatever reason. And so this allows us to kind of pivot a little bit, focus in Mexico for a while. It will be faster to move forward and get something like El Potrero into production in Mexico. We couldn't do that in 2 years in Red Lake area, for example. But having the project in Mexico, hopefully being able to continue financing it, that will allow us to eventually sort of use some of those funds to work in Ontario as well. But in the short term, the focus will be on Mexico. But I hope to be able to keep the projects in Ontario going, through perhaps the summer and the fall, and on from there. But there are no holding costs for us in Ontario, which is nice. I mean, we own both projects 100%. And so, we have the ability to sort of wait it out, so to speak, while we focus in Mexico and build the company that way.
Mm-hmm. Now, in a market with numerous players in the precious metal space, what specific advantages does Pinnacle Silver and Gold offer investors, and what differentiates you from your peers, especially now was here at PDAC, you're talking to investors?
Right. Yeah, definitely. A lot of companies share. I think, one of the things is our business model. It's a little bit of a hybrid in the sense that, we're not pure play exploration. And with the Potrero project, we do have the ability to move it forward towards production in a relatively short period of time, also at relatively little cost. So I think having that ability and then being able to move the project forward like that is something that really differentiates us. Plus the fact that the project is very high grade. We've done fairly limited work on it ourselves so far, because we just closed the acquisition this past week. But from the look that we have done as part of our due diligence, we've demonstrated that the grade of the mineralization is quite high, and in around the 10 grams per ton gold equivalent. It's just gold and silver, and so. Again, that's something is an underground mine, so it's smaller footprint than the development pits. So I think it is faster and easier to permit from that standpoint as well. So all of the things kind of come together to allow us to sort of fast track this project, if you like, and that helps us to stand out a little bit from some of our peers that maybe just, as I say, pure play exploration, where they're just either trying to find something or once you found something, raising money for a build program to draw it off. So hoping that that strategy will work for us in this climate. I think it will, and I come at that from a level of experience because as a co-founder of Great Panther back in 2004, that was effectively our business model back then as well. And it was very successful. And starting from scratch, we built, a mid-tier mining company out of, from that approach, and got into production quickly and built from there. So going back to that old business model because I know it works.
Yeah, proven is always good to go.
It certainly is.
Yeah, thanks again, Robert, for taking the time to speak with me.
My pleasure. Thanks, Marilyn.
And thanks everyone for watching. Join us again next time for another edition of CEO Insights.